Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for tonight. Monday, September 22nd, 2014. Of course, a lot of things happen in an okay Raw tonight with the NLC Aftermath, not Champions Aftermath. It's tough to watch it with wearing my Bears shirt, of course, and MNF, Monday Football Bears against the Jets, as I'm making this video. The Bears are winning 24-19. Bears holding off the Jets with the defense. Anyway, okay, Raw tonight with, of course, Aftermath. As you see by the subtitle, we had, of course, a wanted man on the loose, with Rollins being wanted by everybody. Plus, we crowned another new champ, as we didn't get enough of crowning new champions at Night of Champions. We crowned another new champ tonight. And, also like Night of Champions, another screwy finish in the main event. It all involved what happened during the opening segment. As I mentioned, we had a wanted man. Seth Rollins is probably one of the most wanted guys in the company, kind of. Ambrose came out. He wanted Rollins. Of course, we saw Dean Ambrose made his return last night, following being taken out by the Cinder Blocks, as a kind of a last-minute replacement for Seth Rollins' original NLC opponent. Roman Reigns is, of course, out with a hernia injury for 7 months. Sorry, I'm just stuffed up today. We've been battling with allergies for the last 2 days. So, Ambrose wasn't the only one wanting a piece of Rollins. So, that's John Cena. Of course, we saw what happened at the main event last night with John Cena getting screwed over by Rollins in his match against Brock Lesnar, getting disqualification. Now, usually they like to tease the next pay-per-view main event the night after a pay-per-view. Of course, with no Lesnar, again, as usual. Cena, Lesnar 3 didn't officially get walked down yet for the main event of Hell in a Cell, which is probably going to go down that way. Looks like it. But, as of now, since Lesnar's not around, Cena wants a piece of the guy that kind of screwed him over the pay-per-view last night. So both Cena and Ambrose wanted a piece of Rollins, and here comes the Authority. All of them. Triple H, Stephanie, Rollins in the background being held out, being guarded, should say, by the rest of the Authority, along Triple H and Stephanie, Kane, and Randy Orton. So Cena's like, well, you're going to keep Rollins back there, he won't come to us? Well, we'll come to him. Bang! The brawl started, as of course all the Authority brawled with Cena and Ambrose chasing Rollins out into the arena, out backstage. Cena chased after him too. Both chased after Rollins, beating him up backstage before Rollins would do his own little GTA WWE style, bum rushing a guy, taking him out, and stealing a car and running out of the arena. Looked like Rollins was out for the evening. But as we shall see, this wouldn't be the last we would see of Seth Rollins. While we would see when Rollins would return, we would have our first match of the night. The Intercontinental Championship on the line in a Night of Champions rematch. As we would see Dolph Ziggler getting his title rematch against The Miz. Of course, Miz defeated Dolph Ziggler last night at Night of Champions. Now, if you haven't seen my Night of Champions review yet, of course, we saw Miz and Ziggler got the match, and I've been saying that the matches have not been as good as their Raw match the night after the Battleground. Well, this match on Raw finally beat the other Raw match. This Raw match was really good last night. I mean, really good tonight. Better than the match last night. Not as much interference from Sandow and R-Truth. Another thing, no Florida Georgia line at ringside like they were last night. Because we were in Memphis tonight, not Nashville. Really back and forth action. Really good matchup again from these two guys. The match should have been the match of Night of Champions. It was a really good matchup. Really, like I said, the best match since the Raw match. Yeah, when they get the time, and really can really work. These guys can really work. And these guys can really put on a good match like they did tonight. Really good back and forth match. Really good moves. With, of course, the famous Sir in there and all the big moves from Miz. But for Miz, it was a little piece of karma. Biting him in the ass. He won the IC Championship last night with a little help from Sandow. And a little help from holding Ziggler's tights. But tonight, the old saying goes, what goes around comes around after Ziggler nailed a big move on Miz. He got the pin and held the tights himself for the victory. So it was kind of weird to see. And this is not the first time Miz has lost a championship the night after winning it. The night after winning it on a pay-per-view. Remember WrestleMania? He won the title from Bad News Barrett last year at WrestleMania during the pre-show. And then the night after WrestleMania, he lost it on Raw against Bad News Barrett. So once again, we had the hot potato tonight. With Miz winning it at Night of Champions, then losing it again on Raw. It's kind of weird to see that kind of change happen, but it's cool to see Ziggler regain the championship. I think the WWE creator was like, the fans were pissed that Ziggler lost last night. Let's give him the title back. So there you go. Just like that, Ziggler wins, getting Miz a little bit of piece of his own medicine, winning by holding the tights. And a really good IC title match. So there you go. Now, on to our next matchup. Jack Swagger taking on Bo Dallas. And the third time in a week. Because I saw the match on Raw. I didn't see the match on SmackDown. But I think SmackDown ending in the Raw ending of last week was like the same ending of Raw this week. You know, we've seen a feud develop in the last couple weeks. With Bo Dallas getting involved with Swagger's feud against Rusev. Losing to Rusev all the time. Well, Bo Dallas has been doing all the losing now. We saw him lose last week. Tapping out to the Patriot Lock. Same ending this week. Tapping out to the Patriot Lock with Jack Swagger getting the victory. And once again, if you didn't see my Night Champions review, I said that Bo Dallas lost his momentum after he got his first loss against R-Truth. I said that because if Rusev loses one day, if he ever loses, what will happen to his momentum? Because like I said, after Bo Dallas lost his first match, he never regained momentum. So we'll see if Rusev ever loses, if he can regain his momentum after his first loss. So Bo Dallas just keep on losing against Swagger. It was an okay matchup, but Bo Dallas showed a little bit of offense, but indeed, Swagger got the win again with the tip out. Now we had a Divas contest. Or as I call it, a shameless, speaking of shameless plugging, you think I'm shameless plugging my own reviews? Think about how many times WWE mentions the network for only $9.99, or shamelessly plugs Total Divas, like they did tonight with Summer Rae taking on Natalya. It was a typical Divas matchup. Natalya looked okay before nailing the sharpshooter on Summer Rae with a little bit of interference from Rosa Mendes and Layla who on the outside. So there you go. It was an okay matchup. We had like someone talking, but I didn't listen to it because I was, like I said, flipping between Monday Night Football and Raw at the same time. So there you go. Now on to our next matchup. Dean Ambrose against Kane. Two matches that were made after the first segment. One or two matches made after the first segment. After Rollins ran out, or as we thought was out, like we thought he was out for the evening, but he would be involved in this next matchup. They made Cena and Orton for the main event. They, being the Authority, they also made Ambrose and Kane. Now, before this matchup, it was a little fuck up. They were trying to recap what happened during the first segment. In the background graphics, they were using the graphics from Superstars. Whether it was accidental or incidental because there was another shameless plug for the network because Superstars is on the WWE Network for only $9.99. You should have a drinking game. Do a drinking game every time they mention WWE Network for only $9.99. That also counts for the commercials there for the network. That catchy little stupid jingle. Every time you see a reference for the network, drink. I bet you'd be drunk in less than an hour. If you drink a shot every time they mention WWE Network. And like I said, the commercials count. The actual commercials. Not the commercials in the show. The commercials during the break. So there you go. Nothing my shilling. I'm shilling for them now, so I need to stop that. And get on to the match at hand. Dean Ambrose against Kane. And I'm glad that Ambrose is back. We needed some excitement back on Raw. You know, while it's sad that Wayne got injured. he's going to lose. Speaking of guys who may lose momentum when he comes back, I hope Wayne's can regain his momentum. He had so much momentum before his injury. It's kind of ill-timed. Kind of like the Bryce injury, kind of ill-timed. Because he was champion. So anyway, Ambrose and Kane, they were an okay little matchup with Ambrose putting us on his lunatic fringe mode and delivering some killer moves to Kane. But of course, it's killer moves. And of course, it's crazy. That's why fans love him so much. Because he's just crazy. You just don't know what's going to happen with him. But then as Ambrose looked good, I love the move he does when he gets whammed against the top rope. He like falls into it and like rolls back up. I like that move. That's like one of my favorite things about him. And then all of a sudden he's ready to nail Dirty Deeds. I think he nailed Dirty Deeds. And then comes Seth Rollins, who we thought had vanished after driving off in the stolen car and got involved, causing disqualification. But the brawl continued as Rollins and Ambrose picked up where they left off as they fought all the way to the back. Well, Rollins ran to the back. Then Ambrose got chokeslammed by Kane. And then Ambrose chased Rollins back in the back, and they fought in the back again. Before the Authority broke up the fight again. But instead of throwing out Ambrose like last time, because last time at Battleground they threw out Ambrose, but he got back in. This time they decided to lock him in a room. We will see how that goes if they can sustain Ambrose in a room without him escaping. Now on to our next matchup. A 6-man tag team affair. We would have Sheamus, the U.S. champion, taking on the now former tag team champions, the Usos, taking on the man who I wish was U.S. champion, but maybe needs a better push to being U.S. champ again. Of course, referring to Cesaro. And the new WWE tag team champions, Gold and Stardust. Very okay. This tag team match, this 6-man tag, got a lot of time. It took 3 commercial breaks. They gave this match a whole lot of time. And Gold and Stardust kind of proved they deserve the tag team champions with some great double team work again. I say Usos in their corner, especially. They kind of got Sheamus in their corner too. But Usos got the hot tag and all heck broke loose. The last 5 minutes was very chaotic with all the big finishes. You know, Sheamus with the brogue kick. Usos were flying. Too bad it wasn't an uppercut flying. And we almost had almost the same finish as we did during the tag team match at Night of Champions. One of the Usos doing the frog splash on Goldust. And Gold, like Stardust did, brought his knees up before nailing the final cut for only a 2 count. But then the Usos would get one of the champs down again. And this time, nailing the Superfly Splash in the 1-2-3 victory for the Usos, pinning one half of the tag team champions doing this 6-man tag, getting them their rematch on SmackDown this Friday. They're not moving to Thursdays after all. TNA moved to Wednesdays for nothing. Because they had a commercial for SmackDown's 50th anniversary that's going to air in October, and it's still saying they're on Fridays. They're not moving to Thursdays after all. Like I said, TNA's moved to from Thursdays to Wednesdays was stupid. And unnecessary. And for nothing. So I need to get going. Anyway, on to our next affair. We had, of course, Mark Henry come out trying to apologize for losing to Rusev last night. The Rusev undefeated streak continues. Or, yeah, it continues because we had a rematch. He was kind of goaded into it. Mark Henry was kind of goaded into the rematch. Despite battling a bad back after getting his back rammed against the post during the match last night, the rematch happened tonight. And it was going to the same result. This time, Mark Henry became the second guy next to Jack Swagger to not tap out, but to pass out from the accolade. And Mark Henry had a valiant output, not saying much. And the match was like, okay, like the match at the pay-per-view. Once again, like I said in my review, so I am shilling my review. But if nobody can shield their own shit during their show, I can share my own videos doing this commercial. I mean, doing this video. So, I still can't believe Bruce has been undefeated this long. So, there you go. We'll see if he ever gets defeated. Like I said, we'll see if he ever loses, how he really regain his momentum if he can never regain it, unlike Valdares after his first loss, like I mentioned earlier in the video. So like I said, Monkey had a valiant effort, and the fight was, like I said, just with a limited set of moves. Like last night, they just had an okay match of just pushing and shoving. And kicking and punching. And there was a decent spot of Mark Henry, but that was about it. With the accolade being put on, like I said, Mark Henry passing out. And Rusev's streak continues. Now on to the next matchup. Adam Rose and the Bunny. Yes, the Bunny was in the ring tonight, kind of. To take on Titus O'Neil and Heath Slater, otherwise known as Slater Gator. They've had their problems with the Bunny during their matches, and now the Bunny was actually in a match. Well, the Bunny didn't get really physical. It's just distracted. Typical comedy tag team match affair with Adam Rose with the Bunny getting the victory. Now Adam Rose's gimmick is getting stale. You know, it looked good when he first came in, but then he was off for a few weeks of doing backstage shilling of his own for other products. Not WWE products, but like for Twisted Iced Tea and all this other shit. He shilled backstage. So now he's back in the storyline mode in the main show and with the Bunny involved. And of course, the big question is, who's in the suit? Is it Zack Ryder? That's the biggest speculation, is Zack Ryder's in the Bunny. And it's kind of weird. If it is Zack Ryder in the Bunny suit, he'd probably be like, fuck. The only exposure I get more exposure now as the Bunny than I did as myself. Are you serious, bro? Anyway, on to the next scenario with Nikki Bella. Now, she should not be in the title picture for the Divas title. I'm sorry. She's unnecessary. It's all about Paige and AJ. Nikki does not need to stick her nose in this situation. Like she did last night. She was unneeded in that match against Paige and AJ, which should have been one-on-one. And then we had Nikki Bella come out trying to say that she blames Brie for the loss because Brie talked backstage, blah, 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 blah. And they had a little punch out with Brie knocking her down right before Nikki's non-title match against AJ with Paige at ringside. So Nikki looked okay actually in this fight. Like she had a little bit of offense in with AJ in there. And she did okay with, and then there was a decent spot when Nikki whammed AJ into Paige. I thought Paige was going to get involved, but she did. She did not, should I say. She just stayed in her chair, as she would see AJ cut one of Nikki's moves into the Black Widow. The 1, 2, 3 tap out for AJ. As in her first match after regaining the Divas title last night and heating up the feud with her and Paige. I said in my review last night, sorry once again about shilling my own videos, that Paige and AJ will probably head towards a rematch in Hell in a Cell. And I know this would never happen to me in years, but what if Paige and AJ was in Hell in a Cell? That would be cool. And Ambrose and Rollins should be Hell in a Cell too. You know what I mean? Speaking of Rollins was, of course, in support of Randy Orton. He had a little surprise for John Cena. He brought out himself and Kane to accompany Randy Orton to the ring. And he brought out the Black Sheep again this week. Now, Cena Orton has main evented Walls in too many pay-per-views. So it was an okay main event with Orton and Cena. There was one cool spot, and that was Randy Orton doing the Hangman DDT, but not from the middle rope, but from the top turnbuckle. That was a cool little thing to see. The Hangman DDT done from a different position. And Orton did have a good match against Jericho last night. I'll give him credit to do his match with Jericho, but since Jericho's gone, of course, Orton needs to be lumped around until he gets something to do. Like an active rivalry again. Instead of being one of the lapdogs with the authority like he's been doing. Fighting all of Seth Rollins' battles. King was kind of bitching about it too. But Orton did fight Rollins' battles as he took on John Cena. It was an okay matchup. Like I said, the Hangman DDT spot from the top one was cool. And of course, Cena came Super Cena after getting his butt whipped from Orton. And without Lesnar around, Cena looked okay against Orton with, of course, delivering the big moves. Blocking the RKO and going for the STFU. And as he had it locked in, here comes Kane and Rollins with a disqualification, the second screwy ending in a row during the main event. 2 nights in a row, the main event ended screwy. Then, of course, the beatdown on Cena continued post-match as he leads Cena out on the announce table, and they were trying to reveal what was underneath that black sheet. It looked like we were going to have cinder blocks again, and trying to do the curb stomp on the bricks that took on Ambrose. But speaking of Ambrose, I called this spot. Now, I said to myself, Ambrose was going to get involved in the main event. Either A, they were going to have a camera in the back to the room he was locked in, and it was going to be revealed that he has escaped from it, and he will come out. Or B, he was going to be underneath the sheet where the cinder blocks should have been. And I called B. Dean Ambrose underneath the sheet that was supposed to be holding the cinder blocks. And that's exactly what happened. He took out the black sheet box to look like it was going to be the cinder blocks, but instead it was Ambrose surprise. Bang, Ambrose went straight for Rollins. But then Rollins escaped again, only to leave his authority cronies, Kane and Randy Orton, prone to an FU and dirty deeds from John Cena and Dean Ambrose respectfully. So Rollins went out of Dodge. I expect some sort of tag team affair. If Reigns wasn't injured, this could have been an interesting 6-man tag. Reigns, Cena, and Ambrose against Rollins, Kane, and Orton. But like I said, Reigns is out. So it could be a handicap match, 2-on-3 tag one day with Cena and Ambrose against Rollins, Kane, and Orton. And it could be looking that way. But of course, we'll see what kind of build-up a Hell in a Cell they do. And then see if Cena in less than 3 what happened. With no less than a night, no billing for it. No book, no hype for it. So there you go. It's an interesting ending segment with, like I said, Rollins hiding. So there you go. It's an okay Raw tonight with, of course, the main event. Like I said, the main event was kind of screwy, but I did like the ending with Ambrose hiding. I called it though, but it was still kind of a cool segment. And of course, the IC Championship match was really good to open up Raw. And that was about the only good thing about this Raw tonight. So there you go. Especially after a pay-per-view. So that is it for my WWE Raw review for tonight. Thank you all very much for watching. That in mind, y'all been attacked by the new review from Zach. Thank you very much. See you later. Oh yeah.